We're just going to go back a little bit there. Sorry for that mic cutting out. So I was just saying that he cancelled all of his tech, all the Stargate stuff. He swapped into DTs. He miscalled Templar Archives and actually dived on into that instead. And these Phoenix going to be annoying. They pick up that third. DT is starting to work their way across the map as well. The Phoenix continuing to scout everything. That Mothership Core finally launches out that overcharge. Does some good damage there. Stalkers as well. Oh, they do manage to almost kill a Phoenix. But these Phoenix just getting so much value. 11 workers killed. Oh, Probe's going to move on out. He's going to try and get him. Does get one. One Phoenix finally goes down, significantly reducing the damage output of them. Meanwhile, lots and lots of Adepts warping in here for blue. The Templar Archives as well is now on the way. Probe with DTs in the mechs and the mechs. Third Nexus is down. Going to be adding some Archons, and it looks like swapping into a more generic composition. These Phoenix going to be annoying as ever, but it looks like Probe just going to swap back into a more normal path, realizing that going for 2 Stargate Phoenix range wasn't going to really work out if your opponent kind of knows it's coming. And it looks like a big timing attack might be coming out of blue here instead. Still no third Nexus down. There's actually a DT camping on that base. But is there detection here? I don't know if there's actually any detection. We've got no observers. There's no observers out. What the hell, blue? He announced DTs. He told you he's going DTs and you don't have any detection? No cannons either. Go in, DT! Go kill everything! Probe respecting his opponent a little bit too much right now. If he warps in DTs, he will crush this army. Even without it, does he have enough to defend here? That's 4 Immortals and 2 Archons. That's pretty scary against just 2 Immortals, but there are 3 Archons here for Probe as well. +1 attack is about to finish. He's actually announcing it as it finishes. I think he means +2 attack. But you got to watch out. Here comes this big army. Upgrades are even. The army for Probe is decent, but his army's a little bit out of position. Oh, his units are all derping behind each other. The force fields are fantastic for our blue Protoss player, and he is just crushing through this army. A very decisive engagement. Slightly delayed defense here by Probe, just a little bit slow to react. His DT hits the natural at the same time though. He's killing so many workers. If he just warps in a single DT here, he will crush it. He's killing off most of Blue's army, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to actually defend against this. His Mothership Core does go down. That Immortal gets landed as well. It was lifted, of course. Looks like an Observer has been popped out. And losing the third is okay. Here comes a DT. Probe's going to go in with this DT. He's going to try and focus down these Immortals. And activating these shields, doing a good job so far. What's he got back at home? Just a couple of Immortals, a couple more DTs, morphing into an Archon. This DT having a field day, and I accidentally just pressed the B button because I'm an idiot. That DT having a field day here. It is going to just chase down this army and do as much damage as it can. It's now going to run around the map. This Observer is out. Are there more Observers at home? A second Observer. So there are now 2 Observers out. These are the only 2 Observers though. If this DT just counterattacks around the map and this Observer also goes across, then that's just insane. Mothership Core is almost back out for Probe. It will have 1 overcharge ready to help defend. Archons and Immortals. Archons and Adepts are the most important thing here. Zealots actually warping in here for our blue Protoss player, but no charge on them just yet. That's a very odd choice. And this is going to be a really awkward engage. But here we go, that DT we were talking about. No Observer at home. Oh my god, it's just going to kill so many workers. Overcharge goes down. The Adepts, the Archons, and the Immortal all doing a decent job. Probe's pulling into the engagement. Probe using his namesake to try and buffer here, trying to buy that little bit of buffer that he needs. He is going to hang on with those probes for now. But is it enough to break through the army? His entire mineral line went down. And he's going to barely overwhelm this. Just manages to do it just slightly. These DT in the main still going ham, but the Observer's about to be out. Observer goes to the natural though. It's still not defending. This DT is having a field day. It's wrecking everything right now. And I mean, Probe's only down 4 workers right now. Looks like here we go. Finally, the overcharge is going to go down, but the DT actually gets out of there. Where is this Observer? The Observer's just sitting over the natural. He's in the main base. And he's still doing damage to these probes. Oh my gosh, the lack of preparedness for the DTs that got announced here is so ridiculous. As blue here, I've got to hope that blue doesn't speak good enough English to know that DTs is Dark Templar, because If he does, then this is the most embarrassing loss of all time. Oh, and he's walking right past the DT. Doesn't even spot it as well. Has no idea where this DT has gone to. So the DT is just hiding in the main base. Probe, funnily enough, rebuilding his economy, as is Blue. Actually, Blue's still got that third Nexus alive. So I feel like Probe needs to go counterattack. He's rebuilt some sentries here. Not sure if that was the best decision. I feel like Archons is probably more important, but he's super low on minerals right now. This DT is still just going to kind of roam around a little bit, looking for something he can do. He doesn't know there's a third Nexus up right now. He might go for this Templar Archives, but it looks like for now he's just going to hide in that main base. And, oh, he's just going to hold position there. Those Phoenix looking for him. Let's check out the army supply right now. We've got 36 army supply for Probe versus 31. Is Probe going to go for that third base? He's sending another DT around the side of the map. He's going to send some Adepts off across to pressure, but with no third Nexus, it's going to be really tough. Main base almost completely out of minerals. Natural is oversaturated but running very low. This DT in the main still just running around in circles. And here we go. 7 Adepts coming through. They're going to try to launch into this third base. Oh, the Observer and the Phoenix finally pick up that DT. Do manage to snipe him down. This DT tries to walk into the natural, gets spotted and does pull back. And Adept's going to try to shade on into that natural, see if they can kill a whole bunch of the workers here. DT going for the third at the same time. Probe's going to launch himself in here. Bit of a YOLO here, kills a good number of probes immediately. The DT runs into the third and just gets killed. Oh, he's going to kill the Zealots as well, actually. Very nice. Good moves here by Probe, but still no third Nexus behind it. Makes this a little bit difficult. Shades his way out of there. Keeps most of those Adepts alive. And Probe here. He's in a bit of an awkward position. Oh, he can't shade in there. He can't shade in there. No, that's an Archon. Oh my gosh, he's actually going to try and fight. Focuses down 1 or 2 probes. He's so desperate here to shut down this economy. But that Archons are so good against Adepts. Nice focus fire here from Probe, actually. Does sacrifice 3 Adepts there for about 4 or 5 more workers. But still, the income is just massively in favor of Probe right now. But the mineral patches are running out. He's getting down to 4 patches. His mineral income is going to be dropping very sharply. He is still just morphing in units. There we go. Third Nexus finally goes down. But this third Nexus is so much healthier for the blue player. Probe's in a lot of trouble right now. He's really struggling. Barcode Protoss is freaking out a little bit. Here we go. Adepts shading into that third base. They're looking for the damage once more. I think realizing there's too many units, I doubt they'll commit to that. The Probe wants to get aggressive. He wants to attack that base. He's got a lot of sentries. They don't offer a lot to this composition. It's mainly 4 Archons and 2 Immortals versus 4 Archons and 2 Immortals. So the power units are almost mirrored, but there's a few more Adepts here in the main force that will help out our blue player a lot. So it's all about these Adepts trying to pair with the pressure of the main army to do a good amount of damage. Nice hallucinations here by Probe. He's going to launch his way on in here. These Adepts start to melt very quickly. The illusions, though, not being focused because there is an observer there for detection, but so far a very nice push here for Probe, focusing down these Immortals. Splendid attack from Probe, and it looks like finally just decisively pushing his way in here after that earlier pressure. Overwhelms these Archons and Adepts, and it looks like he's maybe not going to completely overwhelm, but he will manage to kill. Oh, he's not going to get that last Archon. Does end up being held there, just barely. His hallucination's the last thing still standing. But Probe is up a couple of workers. His third base is finishing. He's got to get these workers over there mining, which he's going to do now. Right now, he is down on that income, down a bit in supply. So he's trying to send some Adepts in to buy some time. But this Adept just kind of maynarding to its death. And there's nothing on the natural right now. If the Adepts walk in there, that'll actually be amazing. Cancels them, that shade, walks into the natural, and goodbye Probe line. Probe is going to have a massacre of his own namesake, just killing everything. Nothing escapes. And bringing that up to a total of 52 probes killed. Back at home, Probe's got good mining on that third. The natural still oversaturated. Having a bit of trouble there is Probe. There we go. Starts to finally send those workers over. He is up in income anyway, just because he's killed so many workers. If he can just make some more Archons, make a few more Immortals, then he will be able to overwhelm. Archons and Adepts are probably actually a lot more important than Immortals because they just deal so much more damage. And it's all about killing your opponent's damage output as quickly as possible. Oh, another shade in! What the hell? I think Blue's brain is broken at this point. The Adepts have just been shredding his economy so much. Another bunch of probes go down. The economy is almost gone. And only one Adept goes down for it. These Archons kind of wandering into the main base. And it looks like Adepts really have been the heroes of this game. Oh, looks like Blue might be looking for another attack. There's very few units at home. Just 2 Archons, an Adept, and a DT. Probe, even with that superior income, has not done enough damage to completely win the game just yet. Is still down at half the army supply. Needs to defend this attack. Is trapped in his own mineral line. Oh no, that Archon trapped in a really awkward scenario. The Observer there does shut him down as well. And even though I thought Probe's harassment was good enough, it looks like he just doesn't have enough defense at home. Probe. Blue finally getting the damage he needed. And throwing out a little bit of BM as well, maybe a BM good, or maybe just good. Either way, GG, well played, a valiant attempt from Probe, and despite that being a high-level PvP, forces it into a bit of a weird scenario. Announced absolutely everything he was doing, cancelled a whole bunch of tech, and then was so close to clinching that in the end. Adepts did a great job, but just didn't have any Archons at home. The gas income was way down. And, well, GG's. So thank you so much, guys, for the replays. I apologize for the mic cutting out a few times during today's show. Something I'm gonna try and fix, as yesterday's fix clearly didn't work. It was only temporary. So thanks for hanging out, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to try and get What If Wednesdays going. Depending on who I can get that's a good player, relatively high-level player, pro gamer, without someone being who's actually going to Montreal, since obviously they're already hopping on flights and so on. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Don't forget to hug a watermelon, kick a walrus, and of course, punch a cactus to the moon. I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.